Jenna, welcome to the show. It's amazing. It's a pleasure. I mean, it's super cool to have you here. How are you today?
I'm so good. Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
I love it. I love it. So, let's get started. Let's dig in
All right.
here, and we're starting with the whole interview with the questions and everything. Let's go back in time here a little bit and tell me how your acting career started.
How my acting career started. Okay. Well, I don't know how much time you have, but basically, how do I start this? I think, you know, I have been very fortunate to be blessed with parents
Okay.
who were just always really supportive of extracurricular activities and pushing my brothers and I to do stuff outside of school.
Okay.
So when I was about like 5 years old, my parents put me in a theater company called the New Star Children's Theater Company.
Okay.
And we would put on different productions like Little Shop of Horrors and Oliver and Annie Get Your Gun and all of these amazing productions. And I kind of got hooked. This is where my obsession for musical theater began. And actually, in that time, there was like one production where we had to learn tap dancing.
That's
Okay?
cool. Okay.
Yeah. So I would learn this tap dance and I became hooked. I was obsessed with the rhythm and, figuring stuff out and counts, I guess. I don't know. And my parents were like, all right, like we'll put you in a tap class. So they put me in a tap class at a studio called Greta Leeming Dance Studio in Ottawa. Shout out Ottawa. And yeah, my teacher at the time, Val Berman, who's amazing, she actually was leaving to start her own dance studio. And I followed her. And at the age of like 6 or 7, she was trying to convince my parents to put me in competitive. Okay.
Oh, okay.
My parents were like,
Okay.
yeah, they were like, what the hell is competitive dance? Like, she's 6 years old. What is going on? And, she convinced them, and I had a little tap solo, and I started competing at different dance competitions. And, looking back, that kind of was like, why I got hooked at the competitive world was probably just the the competitive nature of it, dancing in front of judges and performing for, a mark or a grade or a trophy. Like, I think I really enjoyed that
Mm.
aspect of it and working really hard to like gain a certain level of, like excellence. I don't know. I really, really don't know. So anyway, yeah, I got hooked on competitive dance. And at the time, like I remember like being 8 years old. I had an acting coach by the name of Claudia Jurt. She's amazing. And I wanted to do like the film and TV thing.
Mm.
And my mom, being supportive and freaking awesome, she got me a coach and I had an audition and I trained for this audition and I went to Montreal and I did the audition and I was like, oh God, this is not for me. This is not for me. I don't want to be in this adult world of, working with adults, having seen work with adults. I'm 7 or 8 years old. I was like, this is fucking weird. Okay. And I just wanted to be with kids. Like, I was like, I just want to be with people my own age. So yeah. So basically, that was kind of, set aside, and competitive dance became my whole life. Like 6 days a week, after school, tap, jazz, ballet, hip hop, you name it. And I loved it. And I did that until I graduated high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm going to do the normal thing. I'm going to go to university and I'm going to get a degree. And I'm going to maybe be like a lawyer or something.
Okay.
Right? So anyway, if I'm ranting, by the way, like.
Oh, I love it. I love it. No,
Okay.
please. Yeah, I love it.
Anyway, so I went to university. I went to Carleton University, shout out. It's an amazing school. And I, was on the dance team. I still had that outlet, thank God.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting because I would be in the library studying for God knows what. Okay, maybe like some course I had no interest in. And I would be watching dance videos all night, all-nighters in the library watching dance videos. And in those videos were just like, you know, dancers that I aspired to dance with. Like, So You Think You Can Dance alumni, like choreographers that I've wanted to dance with in the Toronto scene and stuff like that, like MMVAs, Sean Desmond music videos, Victoria Duffield, Luther Brown, like all of these people that I wanted to dance with. Nelly Furtado, for example, like all of those people. And I was like, you know what? I'm moving to Toronto. And I was 21 or 20, maybe 20. And I moved to Toronto, and I always knew I wanted to finish my degree. So luckily there was like an online situation where I could finish my classes online, and I finished them. I don't know how. I really don't know how I finished them. But every single day when I moved here, I was taking classes and, you know, meeting different choreographers and teachers. And eventually I ended up dancing with these people that I admired in the library at Carleton University. And it was like one of like the best kind of full circle moments for me. And I'm so fortunate. But yeah, the dance world has taken me on a journey. That's for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's kind of where I'm at. And then that was like through my 20s. I was just like dancing and performing for amazing Canadian artists, and, you know, having experience after experience doing that, and traveling and backup dancing, and worked in film and TV as a dancer as well. And like, then I was kind of like, all right, I'm ready to take the next step and do the acting thing. Yeah. And I started taking classes at Louis Beaumander and Professional Actors Lab out here, and loved it. And you know, dance will always be the first love. Like, that is like a love. You know, your first love that you like can't shake, and you're like, you hear the name and you're like, oh my God, the memories. Like, dance is that for me. Like, dance is my be all end all. But now it's really taken a turn, and I have like a newfound passion for acting and writing. Actually, I love to write too. I love screenplays. So that's kind of where the journey began. But yeah, that's where I'm at, you know.
Love it. Wow. Okay. And do you still tap dance or not anymore?
Pardon?
Do you still tap dance or not anymore?
Oh, I do. I mean, that's less. Cool. You know what's funny is like the Toronto dance scene really doesn't have a lot of tap. Where I grew up in Ottawa, it was like really, really prevalent. Like, tap training was, you know, at the forefront, and now here it's kind of different. Like, I judge dance competitions now, which is so awesome. Like, seeing these kids come up, and like, I just bawl. I'm like crying. I'm like, oh my God, they're like, it's so special to compete as, you know, a high school student. There's so much stuff happening in high school, but you can always count on like dance to be there for you. And seeing those high school like dancers dance, I get really emotional. But yeah, so I do tap dance, is your question.
Yeah. I love it. And yeah, I mean, that's such a journey. That's pretty cool. And the fact that you made it happen, you know, that you saw, I mean, that you having like a goal, and that you made it happen, that's pretty cool.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, I love it. And now, focusing here like a little bit on your acting career, tell me like how you prepare a character. Now we understand, of course, that it depends on the role, right? But what are usually like the first, like how you approach into this process of character creation?
Okay, how do I approach? Oh God. Before like I even audition, this is just for me. Yeah, I look up the director, I look up the producers, I look up the writer, and I kind of get like a gist of their tone and their past work and stuff like that. And then as for my character, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I just bring an element of me. Like, that's my thing. Like, I'm like, okay, so what's my experience in this world, and how would that affect this character and what they do? And then I kind of like just bring that through the character. Like, for example, Susie. Yeah. is like a best friend. And you know those best friends that like put their friends first and they're like super loyal, like they would like bury the body. They would bury the body with you and they're like there for you. That's kind of where the Susie character came from. I was like, this is my girl. And I know people in my life like that. Actually, I'm really fortunate. Like my friends are my ride or dies and I would be nothing without them. So that's kind of where that comes from. But I think personal experience is like number one. That's where you should get your you know, your character developed through that. If that makes sense. Yeah.
And like what character took you the most? You know, like that character, if there was something about it that it took you more than usual to prepare it basically.
Pardon?
Yeah,
Sorry.
like no problem. Like what was that? I mean, what character took you the most to prepare? You know, like was it something about a character that took you the most? Like something about it that you were like, how can I make that happen? Like, has it ever happened that to you?
You know what? It's funny. Like, there was an audition I went for where a woman was experiencing really terrible mental and physical abuse, and you know, thank God, I've actually never experienced something like that.
Yeah.
Physical, maybe mental, but not physical. And the research that I did for this particular audition was really eye-opening for me, and I learned a lot through women's stories and stuff like that. I mean, you really just have to watch videos and read and talk to friends, and that was probably like the hardest one. The other ones really are super light. I go for like best friend a lot, and or just like characters that are kind of, you know, not as complex. But yeah. Basically that was probably the hardest for me. I mean, Janice, like the new one, the latest character that I played, she is out for blood. She does not care.
Yeah.
She wants to get ahead. And I admire that about her, actually. But she's also not a nice person. So, you know, you have to dig into that, like where jealousy is, or where that nature of, you know, putting yourself first ahead of everybody around you. That's something that I had to like, dig into a little bit. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, you know.
Absolutely. I love your, I mean, let me just tell you before we continue that, I love your career. It's super cool. It's super cool. I mean, you have done a lot of cool things. I mean, that's badass, basically.
Oh, that's so nice. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell me, like, what has been your worst audition ever?
Oh, God. Okay. If I had $1 for every weird audition I've ever had, I could probably buy this entire building. I have had weird ones where you are dying. I had one where I had to die in an electric chair. And if you're a visual person, you could probably picture that. And it was crazy.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Every commercial, by the way, every commercial audition where you're eating something and you're like, that's good. Like, that shit is weird. Like, that's where you're kind of like, okay, my morals are out the door, and this is like, you know, funny. I don't really have like a crazy audition, like a worst audition story, but I do have a really interesting one.
Okay.
So, and I actually never really tell this story, but
okay, exclusive one. I love it.
Exclusive on the Dan Show. Let's go.
There you go.
Basically, so like years ago, there was word through the dance community that there was going to be this huge Disney movie coming to Toronto.
Okay.
And it was going to require a lot of dancers. It's going to be like 3 months. It's going to be like a heavy duty feature film. And so my friends were all like, you know, in this together. they were like, Jenna, message your agent, get them involved, tell them like it's going down. Okay. So I email my agent and I just tell her like, this is kind of like, keep your eyes and your ears and everything open because this big Disney opportunity is coming and I would love to audition for it. So one day, I'll never forget, it was a Friday. My friends called me. One friend actually called me and was like, Jenna, why weren't you at this Disney dance audition this morning? Like, where the hell were you? And I was like, what? He's like, everyone and their mom was there. Like, where were you? What happened? And I was like, oh my God. This is the audition that I planned for, that I notified my agent about. So I called her and I said to her, why didn't you send me out for this? Like, what went wrong here? And she said, Jenna, it was calling for 17-year-olds and you don't look 17.
Oh man.
And I knew, I think I was like 25. I was 25 at the time. And I knew that there were like 35-year-olds going out for this, okay? Like the entire dance community, we all know each other. And I was like, oh my God, I missed it. I missed the boat. I missed it. And I was so upset. And that afternoon, I went to a dance competition to support my students. I was watching them compete. And a girlfriend of mine was having a dance event in the nighttime, at night.
Yeah.
And she was like, if you can make it, come. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to go. I'm so tired. I've been like watching my students all night. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go. This audition this morning, I want to forget about it. And I just want to socialize and be with people. So I went to this event and there was a DJ and I was dancing with my best friend, Andrew Kurzik. And we were on the dance floor and I get a tap on my shoulder and I turn around and it was this young guy and he was like, are you a dancer? And I was like, yeah, I'm a dancer. And he was like, why weren't you at the audition this morning? And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, I'm the choreographer and creative director of Disney Zombies. And he's like, I want you to come audition.
So
and
cool.
I was like, oh my God, what? Like, this is so crazy. My agent didn't send me. She thought that I didn't look 17. And I was like, yapping. And he was like, oh my God, like, give me your email. I'll send you the audition date, blah, blah, blah. And end of story, I ended up doing the whole contract. It was like one of the best experiences of my whole life.
That's amazing.
It's just like right time, right place. I just tell people like, just say yes. Like, go to the event, go on that date, go meet your friends, just say yes. Like, you never know where kind of life takes you. And
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm really blessed for that little story, you know, that little encounter, if you
will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, it was made for you. So
you know, I need to be a little bit more spiritual, but you're right. It was the path was in my favor for sure.
There you go. I mean, that was, it was destined. It was destined to be, to be yours. Yeah, I do believe that things happen for a reason, but I also think that when something it's for you, no matter what. I mean, even if it takes like years or something, but eventually it's for you. You know what I mean? That is interesting. That's pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
And did you celebrate after it, or you? I mean, when they told you that, you were like, you know what? I'm just gonna party like super hard right now, or?
I was like, get me a tequila shot. Let's go.
Totally.
Yeah, you know what? I was very, very happy. I was kind of in shock. I'm not going to lie to you. There was an element of shock.
Yeah, of course.
And rehearsals started right away, and it was kind of just like, go, go, go. Yeah, it was one of the best experiences of my whole life. Honestly, it was so, so amazing. And I ended up doing the second movie too. It was like, and we all just became a family. I'm just like so grateful for it all. Yeah.
And what happened to the agent? Do you still? I mean, is she okay?
It's a very good question. I I had to stick with her through the whole contract of the first movie and legally. And then I let her go. And I said, thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That looks like a movie.
I know. I should really write a script about that. It's a little crazy.
I mean, and since it was for Disney, Disney Plus.
Yeah. I should call Bob Iger and just be like, you know what? I have a film for you.
Yeah. I mean, of course.
Yeah.
And you know what? Let's make it Christmas stuff. So, for the holiday and everything, Yeah.
I mean, at the rate that I'm going on, it's going to be Christmas. That's for sure.
There you go. You have it there. I love it. Now, let's say that one day Disney Plus, HBO Max, Netflix, you name it, they call you and they tell you that they want to make a film in which goes that all of the characters you have played at the moment will gather to celebrate your birthday.
Ooh.
Tell me, what would be the name of that film?
The name of the film? Oh God. Okay, Janice and Susie would never be friends. I feel like that would be. Oh, Susie would just be rolling her eyes at this girl. Probably be called The Odd Couple. Odd Couple 4. I don't know. Probably something like that, or I could picture the poster actually. Janice is and then Susie's in the back rolling her eyes. I could picture that. Probably The Odd Couple. It's unoriginal, but I think it fits.
That's pretty cool. And you know what? You should make that post for next Halloween.
100%.
That's cool.
Just my two characters as a costume. Yeah, I like it.
Now, what about if you had to describe your dancing career on a song?
In a song a title of a song?
Yes. Yeah, let's go with that. And with a song that if I listen to it, I can say oh, okay, so this is how, so this is Jenna's career, let's say.
Oh boy. Oh God. It's probably called the miscellaneous or something. I don't know. God.
Okay.
I would have to get back to you on that.
Sounds like a plan.
Or maybe something the Canadian tour. I've only danced for Canadian artists, but I don't know. I have no idea. Probably from Disney to Controversy, something like that. Disney to Controversy.
I mean, that sounds like a documentary.
Yeah, it does. You're right. You're right. Yeah, I mean, I performed for Headley a couple times, and they're in the news for something a little bit terrible. And then I danced for Disney and all those great companies. So I don't know.
Okay, but what about? So we'll leave that for later. But what about describing your dancing career on a song that it's already that it has already been made? For example, that the song "Eye of the Tiger" describe your dancing career. Let's say. But what song could describe it?
Probably I Will Survive by Aretha Franklin. Yeah, probably. Because I've been through so much, highs and lows in this dance industry. And I think a lot of dancers will say that, and I Will Survive. That is actually very fitting. That is very good. Yeah.
Plus, I mean, you're still doing it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, dance will always be with me. I'm a dance teacher now. I've been a dance teacher for 16 years.
Wow.
I'll always do that. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, what about describing your whole acting and dancing career, but on a drink?
In a drink.
Now you could choose one that it's already been made or create your own.
Okay. What is that drink at a party where you're just like throwing everything in there? And it's like all these liquors and you like, and it's like disgusting. And then you add like fruit punch and ginger ale.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know the name of that drink in English. I mean, I know it in Spanish, but I don't know.
What is it in Spanish?
In Spanish is aguas locas.
What is it?
Aguas locas, which is basically
Locas.
all of it in this what's the word? You know, like this huge. I would say that it's bottle that they put on water. You know, like this huge one.
Oh yeah, those like big jugs. Yes.
Yeah. So we will use one of that and just fill it up with all of the alcohol that we have on hand, and we just mix it up with some fruit punch, and we're good to go. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's actually called jungle juice.
Okay.
Jungle juice. I could be wrong, but that sounds about right. But yes, that I would be that because I want to do everything. I want to do it. I want to do it.
I love it.
Just throw a little bit of writing, directing, dancing, acting. That's kind of what I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, now that you mentioned that jungle juice, back in college, I think that was back in college. Back in college, a friend of mine wanted to do a party, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we bought a bunch of alcohol, and I was in charge of that. So I bought a lot of. I mean, I went to this liquor store, and basically I bought everything that I saw. Like I want this. Anyway, so yeah, I bought it, and as we were like fill it in, what I ended up discovering is that between those bottles, I bought a bottle of wine, but it was wine that they use on the church.
What do you mean wine that they used at the church?
Yeah, like you know, like this wine that they use whenever you go. I mean, on the Catholic Church, and they will give you like a small piece of bread representing the Jesus and everything.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So I bought a bottle of that, and I didn't know it. So I was like, that's pretty cool. So as I was like putting it in, a friend of mine came and then he looked at it, and then he was like, well, I guess that this thing is holy. And I was like, I guess it is. So we have a holy party.
It was blessed. That is amazing. That is so cool. I like that you were in charge of orchestrating the.
I mean, that was by accident. When I realized, I was like, that's pretty cool. Okay, this is awesome. And like whenever we were like telling everybody, everyone was like, so I'm drinking like blessed stuff. And I was like, I think you do. So yeah.
You know what would have put it right over the edge is a bottle of Manischewitz kosher wine. You would have been blessed by, the rabbis and the Catholic Church. You would have been like soaring in this universe. Yeah.
Totally. So yeah, it was awesome, by the way. But anyway, so your career would be that, like that mix, right?
Totally. It would be disgusting. Just whatever, you take a sip of. And yeah, I just want to do it all. Yeah.
But how you call it? Let's say that if I go to a bar and I want that drink, how can I call it?
Oh, okay. Probably like the tomorrow's gonna suck drink. Yeah, probably.
Tomorrow's gonna suck. I like it. Yeah, I mean it sounds cool, but it sounds like if you take too many, definitely tomorrow's gonna suck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And my last question here is like, what motivates you? We all have those days that basically we just want to quit. That we're done, and sometimes it's so funny because nothing bad is happening, but we suddenly get into this idea that everything's wrong, that we have wasted our time, and that it's like all of those toxic thoughts. So my question here is, what pushes you away from those thoughts and for you so you can continue this journey that you have been creating for a lot of years now?
It's a very good question. I think what motivates me are the people that work hard around me. They motivate me. My friends who are still in this business, it is one of the hardest industries to break into. There's no real trajectory. You don't go to school. You don't graduate with a master's. You don't do a co-op. You don't do an internship. It really is one of the most difficult industries to break into. So people who are still in this industry hustling and fighting, those people motivate me. People who do like 6 jobs motivate me. People who just work their asses off really like motivate me. And my dad instilled that work ethic in me for sure, like hardest working person. And I grew up with that kind of mentality of, you know, work hard, kid. Nothing is handed to you in this world. And especially in my industry, I mean, I didn't know anybody. I was, you know, starting out. I didn't have a family member who was an agent, who was a writer, who was even like an assistant on set. I knew nothing. And, you know, I think those people in my life that have worked so hard to get what they want motivated me to fight for, you know, to just envision that I can achieve this to some degree. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, what can I say? It's super inspirational with like all your journey and the fact that you followed your gut and follow your instinct and be like, I want to make this happen. I'm gonna do it, and that you made it. You know, I think that's proof enough that dreams can come true. Which I think sometimes people, I mean, we can get discouraged sometimes, you know, because maybe we don't have, we weren't like, we don't have like the connections, or probably we were born in a family that they no, like nobody's an actor or musician or in the whole arts, you know. So I do understand that sometimes that can be discouraged, but the fact that you follow your path, I mean, and you have been creating for so many cool things now, and that you keep pushing as well. I mean, that's pretty badass. Let me just tell you that.
You know, I tell everybody, like, don't quit your day job, because this is an up and down roller coaster, but you can do this. Like, totally. You can, like, do this on the side, do it as a hobby, do it for whatever it is.
Totally.
Like, if you love it that much, it will happen. And consistency is so important. And, you know, love everything about it. Don't just love the jobs that you book. Love the audition process. Love, because you're auditioning 90% of the time, you know? Like, you have to love all of it and appreciate and be in the moment. And, you know, like, these days on set are like 16-hour days, and you are like exhausted, but, you know, you should love it, and you should be present, and you don't know when you're going to get that next opportunity. So just, you know, I don't know. I think first of all, I appreciate you saying all of that. I definitely have had highs and lows, and you just have to love it. Like, point blank, you just have to love it. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. And as I said, I mean, it's impressive. It's impressive, all the work that you have done. And I mean, I can't wait for the future. I'm super sure that more and more epic things are gonna come to you, because you love it and it's really cool. And who knows, maybe at some point you will our next conversation, it's gonna be like where I can put another word on my wall because it's full now, or maybe you will get your own action figure at some point, or, you know, something like
Sweetie, that. From your mouth to God's ears.
It's gonna happen. So. Hear me on that. And if not, it's gonna happen for sure, one way or another. We're gonna make it happen. And also, I want to thank those who watched this video. Thanks so much. Either if you're watching it, listening it on Spotify or Apple Podcast, make sure to go follow Jenna like right now. I mean, the video's over, so go follow her. Let's make her viral. Hashtag Team Jenna, because she's awesome. She's amazing. She's badass. I mean, what else do you want, you know? And yeah. And again, Jenna, thank you so much. Have an incredible rest of the week. And keep inspiring, keep pushing, keep rocking, keep killing it, because you are an amazing, super talented person. And that's it.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun. Thank
Absolutely.
You.
So I'll see you in the next one.
Okay.
All right.